Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen, and you know I just love finding new reasons to get together with friends and share wonderful food and good times and new recipes. And I have to tell you, there's just no better way to do this than by forming a supper club. So I've got a few dishes I want to share with y'all that just happen to be my supper club's favorites. I'm going to be fixing up an artichoke and rice salad with shrimp that is just perfect to eat it warm or cold. And then I'm gonna be frying up some of Bert's Southern fried chicken, and I promise you it's a crispy standout. And finally, I wanna share with y'all a luscious bite-sized lemon blossom that always pleases. I grant you it'll take the prize at your next meeting. So y'all get in there and call up your friends, get together that group, because we're gonna cook for a supper club tonight. And today you've caught me trying to get some ingredients together because today's show is going to be all about supper clubs. Groups of friends get together, they bring a dish, bring the recipe, and share it with their friends. You get full on fun and food. And the first dish that I want to share with y'all today is a seafood artichoke salad. We're going to start by browning 1 box of pasta rice mixture. You can find this on the shelf of your grocery store. And we're going to start by just spraying our pan. Now, in the directions on the box, it's going to tell you to add some butter or oil, but all you have to do is just omit that step, spray your pan, toss it in, and we're going to stir it around until this is a light brown. And that doesn't take but just a few minutes. It could burn on you rather quickly, so you want to make sure you kind of stay close to it. All right, it's nice and brown. I'm going to add the water that the package calls for. You can hear that sizzling. And we're going to add the seasoning pack. It's like a chicken flavored packet. We're going to add that, and then we're going to cover it. And we're going to cook it until all the moisture is absorbed in the rice. And I've got another pan right here with me that's ready. So we're just going to move this to the back stove and let it cook. And bring this up. And you can see how nice and fluffy that is. All the moisture has cooked out. All right. So now we're going to put all of our stuff together that's going to take this from just an average pot of rice and pasta to an extraordinary salad. We're going to start by draining our artichokes. This is 1 jar of marinated artichokes that have been quartered. And we're going to add a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise to the artichoke juice. We're just going to whisk that together. And I can hear that our water's boiling over here for our shrimp. So I'm going to slip down here and throw our shrimp on. Now I've got 1 pound of a medium, already peeled and deveined shrimp. And I'm not going to cut them. I'm going to serve them in the salad whole. So in they go. I'm just going to let that water come back to a boil. I think I'm going to just mix everything in the pot. That'll give me 1 less bowl to have to wash. I'm going to add a 1/2 of a green bell pepper diced, 3 to 4 chopped green onions or spring onions. They smell so good. And I'm using 12 to 14 sliced pimento stuffed green olives. And I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of curry powder, a little salt, a little pepper, and then I'm going to add our mayonnaise and artichoke mixture. Oh, and that curry gives it such a nice, unexpected flavor. All right, our shrimp should be done, so let's come down here and take those out, and they are. Look how pretty. That's just a good biting size, you know. Okay, I think I've dug every one of them out. Now I'm just going to toss that into our salad. The last thing we're going to fold in is our marinated artichoke hearts. And you can see I'm leaving them in quarters because I want it to really make a statement in there. I want people to be able to see what they're having in their salad. Now the beauty of this dish is its versatility. At this point, you could put this away and bake it later and serve it as a casserole, a hot casserole, or you can serve it at room temperature like I'm doing now, and it's also delicious after it's been in the refrigerator, and eat it nice and chilled. This would be wonderful packed up in the lunchbox tomorrow. Oh, I see the olives and the artichokes and the shrimp. But doesn't that look yummy? It's delicious. I'm gonna clean up. When we come back, I'm gonna share with y'all a recipe called Bert's Fried Chicken. So stay glued to your seat, because we're gonna be eating Bert in the next segment. So I'll see you back in a minute. All right, just as I promised, we're fixing to fry up some fried chicken. And the name of this fried chicken is called Bert's Fried Chicken. Now, I have washed this chicken and seasoned it and had it sitting in the refrigerator just like my grandmommy taught me. So it's soaked up all the nice seasonings. Now I'm gonna add 3 cups of self-rising flour to my bag. I'm gonna beat 3 eggs up. And I'm gonna mix them with about 1/3 of a cup of milk. And I'm just gonna pour that over the chicken and let that start drinking up those milk and eggs. I've got my black cast iron skillet filled about half full of peanut oil. And I'm just gonna roll this chicken around in our mixture. And then I'm gonna drop it over into our bag and flour it up. Now you'll wanna make sure when you're frying chicken that you start with your dark meat, because that takes the longest to cook. And the dark meat is your thighs and your legs. And this resealable bag makes it real easy to flour your chicken in. My grandma and mama would use a paper sack, because back then everything that you bought from a grocery store came to your house in a paper sack, not a plastic bag. So these are really handy. And then the next pieces going in are gonna be the breast. Even though they're big, white meat cooks a lot quicker than your dark meat. All right, we're going to slip that in. When you're handling poultry products, any kind of chicken, you'll want to make sure that you wash your hands very good. You really have to be careful when you're handling poultry, because it can easily cross-contaminate into other dishes. So I've washed my hands real good. And our chicken is starting to fry. And you can see I've got a full pan. This recipe is from a friend of mine in Albany, Georgia, and her name is Susan Green. Susan's housekeeper is named Bert. And this is Bert's recipe for fried chicken. And when you have a pan full of chicken like this, you kind of constantly have to kind of move it around. If you let it sit in one position too long, it might get some dark spots on you. So I'm just going to kind of keep flipping everything around. Okay, I think our chicken looks ready. And you can see I'm just going to drain it on a paper bag. These make great drain boards for fried food. And I'm coming out with the thighs and the legs. Oh gosh. All right. We're going to let that drain on the paper towel. Just going to let that drain for a minute. Doesn't that look yummy? And this is delicious at room temperature, straight out of the refrigerator, or straight out of the pan. This is the way to a man's heart, girls. Right here is the fried chicken. And when we come back, I'll share with you a way to Michael Groover's heart. And that's with delicious little delectable lemon blossoms. He comes in and he pops them whole into his mouth and loves them. So I want to share that with you when we come back. So we'll see you back in a few minutes. So glad you could join me today, because today is all about supper club, supper club, supper club. I'm going to a supper club party tonight, and I want to take a few dishes. This is a wonderful opportunity to get together with friends and share recipes. And I don't think I have ever made this recipe that everybody didn't have a fit over it. I'm starting with a yellow cake mix. I'm going to add 4 eggs. I'm going to add a 3.5 ounce box of lemon pudding. And then I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of oil. And I'm going to beat this for about 2 to 3 minutes. And you can see our batter is going to be a little on the thick side. All right, now that I've gotten all the dry ingredients moist, I'm going to turn it up to a nice medium speed and just let that cream together just for a couple of minutes. These box cake mixes can be a beautiful thing because they're so quick and easy to throw together if you need a quick last-minute dessert. Now I'm going to take a mini muffin pan and I'm just going to spray it because I'm going to want these to pop out real nice and easy without them messing up. I'm going to fill these muffin pans about half full of batter. And then I'm going to put them into a 350-degree preheated oven, and I'm going to bake them for about 12 minutes. So we're going to put these in the oven, and I've got a pan ready in the other oven. So we'll cook those, like I said, for about 12 minutes. In the meantime, we've got a pan ready. And I'm going to just pop these out onto a wire rack. And I'm going to mix up our glaze for them. And I'm going to start with a 1-pound box of confectionate sugar, and I'm going to sift it because you'll want to make sure that this doesn't have any lumps when you run your little cakes through. You don't want them lumping up on you. So I'm just going to quickly sift this. And to this powdered sugar, I'm going to add the zest of 1 lemon, 3 tablespoons of oil, 3 tablespoons of water, and 1/3 to 1/2 cup of lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. Okay, there we go. The oil, the water, the lemon zest, and the lemon juice. If it appears too thick, just add a little bit more water to it. If you've got it too thin, then just add a little bit more powdered sugar to it. And you see how quickly that glaze just comes together. So I'm just going to take our muffins, flip it upside down, stick a fork in it, and dunk it completely in that glaze. You're going to want to make sure that you pierce the bottom of your cake, not your top, so that you won't see those fork prints. You know, I have to admit, y'all, that this might not be the prettiest dessert that you can serve or take to a supper club, but it's one of the most appreciated desserts, and certainly delicious. If you really like a lot of glaze, you can let them sit for a few minutes and then go back and reglaze them. All right, I just want to tray these up for you, and I've got another tray back here that has glazed over and hardened. And then I've got the fresh ones. Look at these. You know, this is a very, very, very simple little cake, but yet so delicious, so easy to make. Oops. Look at that. I dropped it back down in that glaze. I'm going to leave for a second, and when we come back, I'm going to share with you a wonderful basic cheese spread that you can take to that supper club, and everybody can nosh on it until it's time to eat the meal. So I'll see y'all back here in a minute. Well, I want to share this quick, easy recipe with you that you can whip together in 5 minutes and be walking out the door to the party. And it's a classic cheese dish. We're going to start with 1 stick of softened butter, 1 8-ounce package of softened cream cheese, 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, and 6 ounces of jarred cheese. Gee whiz, that's good cheese. And a teaspoon of garlic powder. And we're going to cream this until it's smooth. And just that quick, you're walking out the door with a dish that's yummy and you're not embarrassed to show up with. Because who doesn't love cheese and who doesn't love butter? For those of y'all that might be coming in at the end of the show, I wanted to let you know that I'm going to a supper club dinner tonight with my friends, and these are a few of the dishes that I'm taking to share with them tonight. The fried chicken, Bert's fried chicken, is always a big hit. And the artichoke and shrimp rice salad is so good. You can serve it hot or cold. And the lemon blossoms, I've never made them that everybody didn't just rave over them. And don't forget that tip I shared with y'all on the basic cheese spread. It's good with veggies, crackers, or rolls. And until next time, you know that I'm always going to send you best dishes and love from my kitchen to yours.